In this video, I'm going to run you through the exact 10 foods that you actually need to be eating to build a stacked, powerful masculine physique, and more importantly, why most guys are eating in a way that actively works against this goal. And this is coming from someone that's been navigating this process for over a decade now, worked with high-performing men on Harley Street in central London in health optimization, and now coaches men online who need their body and brain to be firing as efficiently as possible for them. Now, before we get into the foods themselves, let's just quickly clarify what a masculine physique actually is, because it's not a universally defined physique, so subsequently the image of it can be a little bit blurred. So a masculine physique has three key components. So first of all, it's a muscular physique, but it is not crazy big. It's certainly not bodybuilder big, just a solid, capable amount of muscle. Second, it's balanced. There's no glaring weak points, but no overdeveloped body parts either. Everything flows from head to toe. And then thirdly, it has something called up and down development, which simply means having more thickness through the physique than width. Now, to make this mental image of what a masculine physique even easier for you to visualize, I'm going to give you some examples. So in order from lightest to heaviest, we have Brad Pitt, we also have Zac Efron, we have Tom Hardy, and we also have Steve Cook. Now, as is apparent with all of these boys, they all have a solid level of development. They have balance from head to toe, and they also have that up and down development going on as well. No crazy V-taper, more so thickness through the physique than width. So this is what I'm talking about when I say the masculine physique. Now, before we actually talk about the 10 foods, just super quickly, I just want to make something incredibly clear. And it's that this list isn't necessarily built around taste and enjoyment. Don't get me wrong, some of the foods on the list can absolutely be enjoyable to consume, but some of them serve the purpose of simply giving the body what it biologically needs. And this is absolutely crucial, because for the body to thrive, these biological nutritional requirements have to be checked, because without this being the case, the body will not be able to adapt, it won't be able to recover, and it certainly won't be able to perform. And this is a very important consideration, especially for us driven guys, because this isn't just about building a physique. It's also about preserving health and longevity as we gun down this process as well. So we can actually stay sharp and effectively be dropping shoulder into our professional pursuits as we gun down this endeavor. Okay, so scene set, let's actually now get into the foods. So food number one on the list is oysters. And oysters are number one on this list for a very good reason. They are the highest natural source of bioavailable zinc, which is absolutely critical for masculine biology. They're also rich in vitamin B12, nutrients like selenium and DHA, all of which play a key role in immune function and nervous system health as well. And this matters because if you're run down, constantly fighting off illness, chronically inflamed, you will not be building a physique, and you'll certainly not be performing professionally either. So these nutrients are incredibly important to consume, and this is why oysters goes at the top of the list. Food number two, we are going for beef liver. Now, beef liver is literally nature's multivitamin. It's loaded with vitamin A, B12, B9, copper, and a host of micronutrients that are essential for things like energy production in the body and also nervous system function. What we can't forget when it comes to nutrition is that macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbohydrates, do not run the show. Of course, they're incredibly important from a physique development perspective, but micronutrients are what actually run business inside the body. They are what run the processes that the body needs to thrive from a health perspective. So this is why foods like beef liver have to be in the mix. Now, the third food that's going on the list is red meat. This is probably a little bit more expected, and for good reason. As we know, red meat provides complete protein source alongside as well key compounds like heme iron, creatine, carnosine, and taurine, essentially nutrients that are either absent or certainly lacking in plant foods. So consider red meat a structural food, one that supports strength and recovery, both of which are obviously needed to build a solid, capable looking physique. Now, food number four, we are going for eggs. Again, probably a pretty expected one for the list. Eggs are, without a doubt, one of the most complete food sources available. They provide highly bioavailable protein, cholesterol, which is crucial for hormonal production, nutrients like choline, which aid in brain function, and also fat-soluble vitamins that support cellular health. Just to stay on topic with obviously the word I just mentioned, when it comes to cholesterol, cholesterol really isn't something we need to be fearing from a nutritional perspective. It is literally the backbone that allows us to make the hormones within the body. So pulling foods like eggs out of our nutritional setup is one of the fastest ways that you can not only compromise your physique development, but also the overall function of your body as well. Next on the list, food number 5, we are going in for salmon. Now this one is about polyunsaturated fatty acids, particularly DHA and also EPA. This is not just about omega-3s. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, DHA is an essential polyunsaturated fatty acid, which is arguably one of the most important nutrients that we need to consume within the human body. If you want to be cognitively sharp, emotionally regulated, and resilient under stress, then you absolutely need adequate amounts of DHA. And getting the likes of DHA and also EPA from whole food nutrition like salmon is far superior than getting it from fish oil supplementation. So this is exactly why salmon's on the list. Okay, now food number 6. We start to venture into the carbohydrate sources, and up first is white rice. Now this can be basmati rice or jasmine rice, whichever you prefer. I like white rice as a carbohydrate source because in my coaching and anecdotal experience, it's a typically very well digested carbohydrate source. Most men tolerate it extremely well. Off the back of also what I've just mentioned there, what we have to understand when it comes to carbohydrates is they are not the devil when it comes to nutrition, particularly when it comes to physique development. Carbohydrates are imperative at aiding quality gym performance, which is absolutely required to build a masculine physique, because we need to perform well in the gym to accumulate new strength, which therefore allows us to accumulate the muscle to obviously build the physique itself. So white rice absolutely earns its right to sit on the list. Food number 7, we are going for potatoes. Now the reason why I'm a massive fan of potatoes is because they're an awesome source of potassium, which is crucial for nervous system balance, muscle contraction, and blood pressure regulation. Something that we as driven guys absolutely need to consider, because when we analyze what kills us most as men, it is cardiovascular related issues. And a big driver of cardiac dysfunction is skewed blood pressure, high blood pressure. So consuming foods that provide the minerals that help to maintain a healthy blood pressure is crucial. So this is why potatoes earn their right on the list. Food number 8, we are going in for fruit. Now the big reason as to why I'm a fan of fruit is because fruit contains glucose and fructose, both of which are bound within a food matrix containing, of course, fiber as well. Although natural sugar is present within food, because it is bound within a food matrix with vitamins and minerals for the body to utilize as well, it is not the same as refined sugar. So natural sugars coming from fruit is absolutely fine. And it's actually of benefit from a physique development perspective, because this allows us to support loading liver glycogen. And this matters because when liver glycogen is low, cortisol rises, and physique progression can often suffer because of this. So fruit is not a junk food, it is a biological carbohydrate source. And when you are consuming fruit just as an add-on, try and always make sure that you're consuming fruit that is locally and seasonally grown, because this is going to best support your health. Okay, so next food number 9, we are going for grass-fed butter. Now, I'm a huge fan of grass-fed butter. It provides us with saturated fat, fat-soluble vitamins, and also health-promoting compounds like stearic acid, which play a huge role in optimizing mitochondrial function, which, as many of you may know, helps us with efficient energy creation within the body when they are optimized. Now, off the back of the identification that I've just made, fat, when it comes to nutrition, is not the enemy. And it's also not just about hormones. It's about cell membrane integrity, energy efficiency, and also resilience under stress. Low-fat diets, without a doubt, build fragile systems, and diets that are rich in quality fat sources build robust systems. And of course, when we are gunning down building a masculine physique that has a decent amount of muscle tissue, we need a robust system. So a fat source like grass-fed butter absolutely earns its right on this list. So this brings us on to the 10th and final food, and I'm going for a quality salt. Now, when it comes to salt, there's a lot of myths around consumption. What we have to understand is sodium is absolutely crucial for adrenal function, which plays a massive role in nervous system signaling and also allowing us to properly, optimally hydrate the body. You see, training, stress, carrying more muscle than normal individuals all increase sodium requirements, and chronically under-consuming salt is a fast track to fatigue, anxiety, poor recovery, and subsequently shitty performance. So salt, certainly not to be feared when you're consuming a quality one, and the one that I personally favor the most is Redmond Real Salt. So certainly one for you to get into the mix. So there we have it. They are the 10 foods that you need to consume to build a masculine physique. Now this is the part of the video that most men do not want to hear. And it's that we as guys, we as men, we can't be eating like women, okay? We cannot be eating regularly to satisfy emotional desires, because as men, we have output to deliver. You know, we have careers to build. We have a burning need to provide, especially in this cooked generation in which we reside. So if your nutrition is often driven by emotional need as opposed to biological need, your physique, your cognition, and subsequently your output will always be capped. And this is incredibly consequential for us as guys for the reasons that I've just mentioned. Now, of course, this is not me saying to never have balance. We are at times gonna have a little bit of processed food, and that's completely fine. But that consumption needs to be structured, it needs to be factored in. And for the vast majority of our nutritional intake, when trying to build that masculine physique and preserve health whilst doing so, the foods that make up it have to be coming from the list that I've mentioned in this video. So there we have it. If you want to build a masculine physique whilst preserving your health as you do, this is the nutritional framework from which it is to be built from. Now, if you want a free resource that helps you to apply this knowledge with more precision, which includes information that allows you to work out, for example, how many calories you need to consume, and also what your macronutrient consumption should look like, then head over to the description in this video and download my 90-day masculine physique guide. In this, there are plenty of gems that will help you to refine the work that you're likely already doing from a nutritional perspective. Okay, fellas, enough from me. If you made it this far, I appreciate you boys for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.